Shalom, friends. Creation follows a set of principles and laws that everyone is bound by, and if you know them, they can be used to your advantage. Life is a product of your beliefs and identity. Therefore, changing your perspective to understand how creation works makes it easier to shape the world around you. In this video, we will explore 8 core principles from Kabbalah that you must know to transform your life. So let's get started. Principle number 1, where attention goes, energy flows. This is well known in many spiritual traditions, but is also present in Kabbalah. And this principle shows the impact of our focus on something. Have you ever noticed how focusing on an idea brings it closer to you and makes it more attractive and powerful? That is because consciousness is energy, and when we focus on something, we are directing a part of our soul to it. We're making it more attractive. This is the secret behind the prohibition of coveting and lusting that we find in the Torah. The spiritual worlds operate in the same way and respond likewise. If someone chooses to focus on how bad his life is, then God will provide him with ample experiences to reinforce that notion. Similarly, if we dwell on the good, then we invite blessings to us. By the way, there is a principle in the Talmud that a person should not speak about bad things happening to himself, and this is why. In contrast, if we direct our focus to God, then we invite His presence to guide us. By being mindful of where we place our attention, we can actively shape what we bring to us, hopefully only good things. Therefore, try to always focus on the good no matter what. I know it's difficult, but it's worth it. Principle number 2, it's not all about you. I know that in our individualistic society, it's easy to think that we are the center of creation. After all, we're human beings. But true inner peace comes from understanding that we're part of something much larger. This is the secret behind humility, that we don't overestimate our own importance. Yes, we are worthy and we can, of course, ask God for more, but by letting go of the constant need to assert our individuality, we can find harmony and contentment with what we have. And this is one of the greatest blessings that we can have, called Ishuv Hadat, the settling of the consciousness. This principle also has strong influence in our internal state. A person constantly striving to assert his individuality and prove his worth all the time can be exhausting and lead to feelings of isolation and dissatisfaction. There is no secret there. This is one of the reasons why we have the Shabbat, in which we stop working and running and simply focus on being and enjoying the blessings that we have. Now, to be fair, there is a time and place to be alone and be without anyone, but there is also a time and place to be with the world or your community. This doesn't mean abandoning our sense of self, but integrating it into the service of God with others. And this is why we Jews are also commanded to praying 3 times in a minyan throughout the day. This principle is also reflected in the mitzvah of the tzedakah, in which we donate money to the poor people and even time to others. For those who can't donate money, then time is also an option. As we lift others, we also lift ourselves. If you are enjoying this video, please make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. This helps us spread the light of Kabbalah to more people. And now back to the lecture. Principle number 3, everything is happening for you, not against you. Life's challenges are essential for our soul's growth, and this is also known as the tikkun, the rectification. Every event, no matter how difficult, is predetermined and custom-tailored for you alone to experience it. There is no reason to be jealous of anyone. I know, again, it can be difficult, but this is what real work and growth is all about. Rabbi Nachman teaches us in the Likutei Moharan that when a person can thank Hashem, God, for both the good and what he perceives as bad, this is a taste of the world to come, the Olam Haba. And this is one very difficult part of life. This principle encourages us to see challenges not as punishments or misfortunes, but as opportunities. And by embracing this mindset, we can find meaning, purpose, and even salvation in the most difficult situations. It's much easier to pass a challenge when you know it's a challenge. And the Holy Baal Shem Tov already taught us that halfway towards salvation is having faith that it's coming. So instead of succumbing to frustration and anger next time things don't go our way, we can take a deep breath and simply ask, what can I learn from all this? And what is God trying to tell me? And chances are you'll be able to find the answer within if you follow these steps. And check out my video with the heart meditation, which is very useful. Lastly, on this, we need all to be very patient with ourselves and our progress, realizing that Hashem is behind everything. And while progress is always great, sometimes we really just need to wait, as Rabbi Nachman teaches us in Likutei Moharan. If you value something, you wait for it. And sometimes waiting is also a test. Principle number 4, God's real-time updates. God is continuously updating creation with unimaginable compassion and love. The Zohar teaches us that a person doesn't get punished even 1% of what is due to him according to God's attribute of justice. Most people simply can't appreciate this fact. I know it's difficult, sometimes I can't, but embracing this can help us trust that God is behind the process and everything is for the best. Either way, what we think, speak, and feel are the inputs that will come back to us. Some cultures call it karma, but in Kabbalah, it is called the secret of Maim Nukvim, the feminine waters, and Maim Duchrin, the masculine waters, or an awakening from below that generates an awakening from above. Meaning the consequences of all our actions, be them good or otherwise, will come back to us. And sometimes the results of that can only be seen way down the line or in a future reincarnation. But it's there, waiting for us. When we acknowledge that God is continuously guiding creation and everything comes from Him, we become open to His guidance and reassured that every twist and turn is part of His compassionate plan. Principle number 5, clues and synchronicities. Have you ever experienced a moment where everything seemed to fall perfectly into place? These synchronicities are a message from God. This can happen whether we are studying and find the same pasuk, the same verse in 2 or 3 different books, or hear 2 different people say the exact same idea, and so on and so forth. This last Friday, as I was buying some halva in the market, the young seller from the store started asking me some things, and even my name, which is unusual. When I paid, I saw that the price was 68 shekels, which is the exact gematria of Chaim. That's my name, by the way. I can't stress this enough, but by being mindful, you will often find that the answers that you seek are right in front of you. Say you have a business idea that you think it's genius, it's the next Amazon, but your heart is not so sure. Then as you are thinking about it and walking around the park, you see a woman telling her son, "Don't do stupid things." This may be a strong sign that your idea is not as great as you think it is, and that your soul arranged for this encounter to tell you just that. Now, generally, synchronicities often serve as affirmations that we are on the right path, offering reassurances and encouragement, but we should always temper it with reason and guidance, preferably from the Torah. So be careful with interpreting the clues and use good judgment. Principle number 6, no one escapes the spiritual mechanism. That's right, we're all part of creation, whether we like it or not. We're all bound by something, and every one of us serves a higher power, whether it's God, our inner inclinations, or even past reincarnations that came down with us in this world. In Kabbalistic thought, this means that every person is part of the grand design of creation, and it's tikkun. And of course, this is a slap in the face of atheists who think that they are so wise because they are free from God, because they don't believe in Him. As I explained in an article about reincarnation on the website, we are all beholden to our soul and also up to other 6 different souls that came to life with you. Not only that, but our base consciousness is only the very minor part of the lowest level of the soul, which is the nefesh, that is vested inside the body. The higher parts that are the ruach, which very few people manage to have, is unbelievably wiser than and most powerful than the nefesh. Higher than that, we have the neshama, which is higher than the ruach and also beyond our comprehension. The chaya is even higher than the neshama, and the yichida will only be revealed in the world to come. Think that the higher levels of your soul are orchestrating your life and negotiating with God to make sure that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. Internalizing this can significantly shift our perspective on life's challenges and the behavior of others. When we see everyone as part of the same spiritual mechanism, it becomes easier to practice empathy and patience. Principle number 7, difficulties mean that you are on the right path. Great achievements don't come easily, generally, but not always. If you are facing challenges, it may be a sign that you are on the right path. A person is expected to exert significant effort to move closer to God and fulfill his purpose. But this effort is also very rewarding, whether in this world or the next one. Remember that the bulk of reward is reserved for the righteous in the world to come, whether Jews and non-Jews. Whenever obstacles show up, try to remember that they are not just tests, but they are confirmations that you are striving for something meaningful and greater. The Chofetz Chaim had tremendous opposition and difficulties writing the Mishnah Berurah over a period of no less than 22 years. Yet he realized that it was very easy for him to come to the land of Israel, and so he decided to continue finishing his masterpiece. Not only that, but as said previously, in Kabbalah, these obstacles are seen as necessary tests and refinement that help us develop our midot, our character traits. They help us become stronger and transform how we respond to challenges, to become better people. Instead of feeling discouraged or defeated when faced with obstacles or constrictions of any sort, try to see them as indicators that you are making important strides in your spiritual and personal growth. These difficulties push us to dig deeper into our souls as well, and to find inner reserves of strength and wisdom that we might not have realized that we possessed. Once they are acquired, they become ours forever. Remember that Kedusha, holiness, requires effort and sacrifice. Tuma, which is the opposite, is free. The final principle number 8, the law of intention. Intention or will is from the Sphira of Keter, and this is the driving force behind our actions. Remember, everything follows the will. In Kabbalah, setting clear and positive intentions is vital for spiritual growth. Always make a plan where you want to be and what you want to achieve, and be as detailed as possible. We generally set these intentions on Rosh Hashanah, the new year, but we have to keep setting intentions every time we want to do something. And this is very important, by the way. As mentioned before, our thoughts, beliefs, and intentions shape our reality. By aligning our mental and emotional states with our desired outcomes, we can manifest those outcomes. Essentially, the energy we project to rule our thoughts and feelings directly influences the spiritual worlds and can then be manifested in the physical realm. This is the, I guess, Jewish equivalent to the law of manifestation or attraction. After all, this is the basis for all the Kavanot and Ichudim, which are the mystical meditations of Kabbalah. We are all trying to generate a certain response in the spiritual worlds above. Not only that, but this life principle teaches us the importance of maintaining a positive and focused mindset, which is something that everybody is able to do if we just learn how to do it. A proper intention can be very powerful to make sure that we reach our destination. When we set clear and positive intentions, we align ourselves with our higher purpose and higher soul, and also the divine will, making it more likely that our efforts will lead to fulfilling outcomes. This, by the way, ensures that the will, which comes from the Sphira of Keter, will flow down to the Sphira of Malchut, which is manifestation. Coupled with this is also the techniques of visualization, which is the process of creating a detailed mental image of the desired outcome. And this helps reinforce the belief that this is also achievable. And by the way, if you're going to visualize or use affirmations, which are also based on authentic Jewish wisdom, then you should know that you must have the proper feeling and emotions associated with that as well. Again, I realize this is not easy and this requires a regular self-reflection and meditation and a conscious effort to aligning our intentions with our values and goals. But this I found is one of the most powerful transformative tools to help us reach the next level in our life. Anyway, my friends, these are the 8 principles of Kabbalah. Kabbalah, as we know, is an outstanding wisdom that is very, very powerful. And as we become more mindful of our thoughts, our words, and our actions, we'll begin to notice a shift in our perception, our interactions, and our lives. Challenges will then become opportunities for growth, and synchronicities will affirm that we are on the right path as they become more frequent. By seeing every experience as part of our soul's journey, you develop also a resilient and more optimistic outlook, which is so crucial. In summary, Hashem, God, will become more evident. Remember, spiritual growth is a continuous journey. There are, of course, ups and downs. Be patient and gentle with yourself as you go about your business. And remember, it's all for the best. I wish you a wonderful, peaceful, and fulfilling life.